Imagine this. You stop chasing, you stop texting, you stop talking, and suddenly she's spiraling, wondering where you went. Sounds like a fantasy. It's not, it's psychology. Today, I'm revealing why the moment you go quiet, she'll start losing her mind, and why silence is more powerful than any clever text or pickup line you could ever send. Stick around, because the truth will change everything you thought you knew about attraction. Part 1. The Psychology of Silence. Let's start with a simple but powerful question. Why does silence have such a dramatic effect on women? The answer lies deep inside the human brain. We are hardwired to crave certainty, especially in emotional connections. When everything feels predictable and safe, the brain relaxes. But the second uncertainty creeps in, the mind can't help but spiral. In relationships, women are biologically and psychologically tuned to seek emotional security. Connection isn't just important, it's essential. So when you suddenly go quiet, you don't just break a habit, you disrupt her entire emotional safety net. It's exactly like when Netflix freezes at 98% buffering. You're sitting there, popcorn ready, emotionally invested, and then boom, frozen screen. 5 seconds feel like a lifetime, admit it. You start panicking. This tiny interruption forces her mind to start asking questions. What's happening? Is something wrong? Did I do something? And once that door is open, the imagination takes over. But it doesn't just stop at confusion. That's just the first crack in the foundation. The real magic and chaos begins when silence forces her into something far more intense, emotional investment. And trust me, that's when things really start getting interesting. Stay with me, because this next part flips everything you think you know about attraction. Part 2. The Investment Trap. All right, so you've gone quiet. She's confused. Her mind is racing. And now something even deeper starts happening. It's called the investment trap. And it's one of the most powerful psychological triggers you can activate without saying a single word. Here's how it works. When someone invests energy, time, thought, or emotion into something, they subconsciously assign it more value. It's not logical. It's psychological. Think about it. The longer you search for your lost phone, the angrier and more desperate you become. Why? Because now you've invested emotional energy into finding it. It's no longer just a phone. It's your entire focus. And let's be honest, by the 5th couch cushion, you're ready to call the FBI. In relationships, when you step back and go quiet, you create a similar effect. She's not just thinking about you. She's investing in you emotionally without even realizing it. Every unanswered question, every moment of uncertainty, every second of silence, it pulls her deeper into that investment trap. But there's where it gets really fascinating, because silence doesn't just make her invest more. It starts magnifying her feelings in ways she can't control. And that's exactly what we're diving into next, part 3. Silence magnifies desire. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Silence isn't neutral. It's not just an empty space, it's a blank canvas. And the human mind hates a blank canvas. Our brains are storytelling machines. When we don't have all the answers, we make up the missing pieces. And when you go silent, when you disappear from her radar, Herman doesn't just wonder. It creates. She starts filling in the gaps. Maybe you're busy. Maybe you're mysterious. Maybe. And here's the exciting part. Maybe you're even more valuable than she realized. Meanwhile, the guy who's blowing up her phone with weird texts, she's treating him like spam mail. Markers read. Move on. Silence forces her to think about you. It makes you larger in her mind than you ever could have made yourself through words. You go from being the guy she talks to the guy she can't stop thinking about. And here's the secret few men understand. The imagination always paints in brighter, bolder colors than reality, but there's an even bigger emotional storm brewing. Because once her imagination kicks into overdrive, it awakens something primal inside her, the fear of losing you. And that's what we're unlocking next. Part 4, the fear of loss effect. All right, so you've gone silent. She's thinking about you. She's investing emotional energy, but now something deeper, something primal kicks in. It's called the fear of loss effect. At a biological level, human beings are wired to fear losing something they value. It's part of our survival instincts. When food, shelter, or emotional connection becomes scarce, the brain hits the panic button. In dating and relationships, the same wiring applies. When you go quiet, she subconsciously feels a threat. Wait, did I lose him? Did I mess up? Is he moving on? These questions don't just spark curiosity, they create anxiety. It's like when you're at the airport casually scrolling your phone and suddenly hear final boarding call for flight 237. Boom, panic sprint. You're running like you're being chased by a lion. Your silence triggers that emotional urgency. Now, instead of wondering if she likes you, she's wondering if she's about to lose you. And that fear of loss doesn't just create attraction, it amplifies it. Because the harder something is to hold on to, the more valuable it feels. But there's the real kicker. It's not just fear making her chase. There's another hidden emotional phenomenon you're activating, and it's so powerful, it can make you unforgettable. Let's get into it next. Part 5, you create unforgettable emotional contrast. So far, you've been quiet. You've stirred confusion, heightened investment, and triggered fear. But now we're unlocking one of the most powerful psychological tools you can wield. Emotional contrast. This is where you separate yourself from every other guy in her life. The key to unforgettable attraction isn't about constant availability or always being present. It's about the space between your presence and absence. When you're there, it's electric. The connection feels intense. The attraction skyrockets. But when you're gone, even just for a little while, that absence, it's like a hole in her world. And here's the kicker. That hole makes her realize how much more she wants you. It's like your favorite song, the one you didn't care for at first, but after hearing it on repeat for a while, it's all you can think about. And now you're singing it in the shower like you're on stage at Madison Square Garden. The emotional high and low you create by being present and then pulling back. That contrast is addictive. She can't help but crave more of it. It's like a drug and you're the dealer. Bother's where it gets wild. This contrast doesn't just make you more attractive, it makes you unforgettable. And the best part, there's an even deeper psychological effect that silence triggers, and it will make her chase you like never before. Stay with me. Part 6, the silent strength. And when silence backfires, silence works, but only if it's rooted in strength, not insecurity. Going quiet because you're afraid she'll sense it. But going quiet because you're secure in yourself, that's magnetic. Real masculine energy doesn't chase validation. It attracts. You're not ghosting. You're growing. There's a difference between going silent and going missing like a sock and a laundry machine. Mastering this balance is what separates the boys from the men and the forgettable from the unforgettable. So next time you feel the urge to double text, pause, take a breath. Let your silence do the heavy lifting. Because when you understand this power, you don't just attract her attention, you capture her mind. If you found this eye-opening, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because we're just getting started. More hidden psychological truths are coming that you won't want to miss.